Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And it's Friday night, and it's that Friday night feeling. So, as always, we're joined by Omundi, and we're joined by Jack from United Football Community. Guys, welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. It's Friday, and we're joined by Omundi. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, great. I'm glad it's Friday. You know what? After the carnival weekend, I'm always get depressed. I think that's the last bank holiday weekend of the year, but due to unfortunate circumstances, but fortunate for me, we've got another bank holiday weekend, and I'm going back to work on Tuesday. So I'm going to extend it. I'm really happy to be on the agenda. Because after tonight, I am free. You won't be able to find me. I will be enjoying the 3 days off.
And Jack, welcome back to the channel. How are you feeling, sir, after your nice breakaway?
Yeah, all good, all good. Doesn't look like I have a tan on camera, but I trust me, I do. I do. For an Irishman, it is good. But no, great to be back. Happy to be back on the channel, and looking forward to it.
Oh, brilliant. Nice having you back as well. And that's what Omundi is saying. It's almost like bank holidays upon us at the moment. But one thing I got to say, I put a message in the WhatsApp group today and everyone thought the opposite of what actually meant. And it was going around the group a little bit where Talk thought I said something, so did Rebel. I'm not going to repeat it, but when I actually read the message and listened to the voice note, I thought, oh, you know, in my head, I'm thinking I can see what it could mean, but I said I was at the guys. I said I was at the dump, and everyone
they thought you were taking the number two.
Yeah,
yes.
So it is what it is. But listen, guys, as always, welcome to the Man United Agenda. We are going to make this a very chilled, relaxed night. And first things first, we're going to be talking about Eriksen and what he has. Oh, wow. Let's go to the super chat. Matthew Bassett. No comment, though.
He just want to show off his picture. Look at him looking like a football star, you know?
Playing football. It is a football. Yeah, it is. It's football, isn't it?
Can't see who he's playing for, but that's a proper pose. One of these old school football poses, isn't it? Yeah. Matthew, you're looking cool right there, man.
Looking cool, dude. Thanks for the generous donation.
That's not bad. Yeah, big up Matthew Bassett.
Yeah,
by the way,
Matthew
Bassett's on at 10 o'clock tonight, isn't he?
Yeah. Apparently, I'm echoing. I'm delaying. I don't know why. Apparently. I'll fix it as we're going along, guys. But let's kickstart the show and start talking about Eriksen. We've got a few topics we'll talk about Eriksen. And the first one I want to go to is probably go to Jack and speak to Jack regarding what an impact Eriksen has been for us so far. Free transfer, a deal that didn't look likely to go through, but eventually it's almost like Ten Hag got his man. I don't know whether or not the rumors going around saying we want this player, that player, whether or not Ten Hag wanted him as probably one of his priorities. What do you think?
I think the reason we were linked with him so early in the transfer window, I think, just goes to show how, I suppose, adamant Ten Hag was in relation to getting him. And I mean, what a signing he's been. He's just been absolutely phenomenal. And the fact that we've got him for free as well just puts the cherry on the icing on the cake. He's been absolutely phenomenal, I have to say. And he's similar enough with a lot of the other signings where he just sets a better standard. And, you know, obviously that was one of the things that Manchester United squad were maybe lacking last year, was a standard and you know professionalism more than that. And you can see he has it in abundance. And you know, and I think that kind of player that Ten Hag wanted, that kind of ball carrying centre midfielder, where he's very capable of taking the ball off the back or carrying it up the field, you know, and creating chances in for our forward players. So he's been an absolute revelation.
Same thing. You do a show called the Eye Test on a Tuesday night at 10 o'clock, and you get to probably watch a bit more of Eriksen and see him sort of, because breaking it down completely, what impact have you believe he's brought to Manchester United, and why do you think most of the games he's seen, he's almost like, so far what I've seen, he's played roughly about 7.5 out of 10 so far each game.
You know what? Look, I agree. I agree with what Jack said. I agree with what we were saying on the show yesterday. I think he's been man of the match almost every game, apart from the Brentford game where the Gea stitched him up a couple of times with those pass outs and everything else. But look, the guy, every team, to dictate how you play is not just about the manager. You need a conductor on the pitch, and that conductor has to control the band and control the music and how you play. And you want to be playing some sweet music at someone's pace. Now, granted, Eriksen is like 30 years old now. He's not over the hill, but he plays to his pace. And this is what I love about him. He will change the pace of the game. He can play slow, slow, slow. And then one pass, bam, through your ivory needle, he's picked you out. And if you watch his highlights or you just watch the 90 minutes of him playing, it's an absolute joy to watch. It's a thing of beauty. Football, like I keep saying, football is the greatest game in the world. And when you have a conductor, someone like that can dictate how the 11 guys play and slow it down to your pace, to your level, and completely control games. And you know me, Solo, I love the fact that you can control. Control is everything, in my opinion. I remember once when I was learning to drive, I couldn't get around it. My dad said to me, "You control the car, the clutch, everything. That's how you control the car." So we used to do these hill clutch control on the hill, and then suddenly once I got that, stop, start on the hill, stop, start, let it roll, and got control. I thought, this is easy, And then I became a master of driving. I've been driving for many years now, and the same applies to Eriksen. He's got that clutch control of how on games. He can slow it down, and this is what we need. Sometimes you get panicked, don't you, when a team's attacking you, and then you think, all right, we need an outlet. We need someone who can keep the ball for a few minutes or keep turning it over. This is the guy to do it. Or sometimes when you're under pressure, you need someone to have an outlet, to have the outlet ball and do a counter attack or just open things up when you're being pressed. He's just got everything about his game. I love this guy so much. It's no love affair for me. My Harry Maguire thing. That's gone. That's gone, guys. You won't be hearing me talking about Harry Maguire anymore. It's all about the beautiful, beautiful Christian Eriksen. Now, I could wax lyrical about this all day, but I remember what's key to me is that Dennis Bergkamp, also one of the greatest players, I have to admit, of football. He obviously came from Ajax, but he was coaching at Ajax when Eriksen was there. It's from 16, 17. Frank de Boer, Frank de Boer, was the under-19 coach. So he came as a youngster. Frankie de Boer was doing the under-19s coaching. They put him back to the under-17s to say, he's good enough, but you just need to settle in. He doesn't know the language. And after 2 months, he learned the language. And then it's like, oh my God, what do we do now? So he said, he put him in the under-19s. Then this is 17 years old. Then Frankie was saying to the manager, who was Martin Jol at the time, we need to put him in the first team. He's ready. Basically saying, this guy's ready, because there's good communication at Ajax between things. This guy's ready. He can play him. His only thing is the physical thing, but he's ready upstairs. And to have that ability, and you can see that now, his old wise age, to still have that control, that ability, that's been with him from day one. Left foot, right foot, control, composure, like I say, the orchestrate how the team is playing. Absolute joy to watch. I hope all you fans out there are enjoying it. We are loving it on the Man United agenda, and obviously doing the eye test. When I say the eye test, it's because we enjoy the football. We get off on the football. It's like being in the theatre. You got the front row seats, and you're enjoying something here. And the Man United are on the up because of this guy, strictly, in my opinion. The reason the manager got him in, because he realised, what? Going for free? Eriksen, are you mad? Get in there and get that guy. And you can see the difference he's made. Not just that, versatility as well. I know I'm going on, but we think versatility. We think, Eriksen's number 10. But no, as Matthew Bassett said in the comments, he's here. Maybe he can do the Frankie de Jong job, which he is doing. He's playing deep as a number 6. Yesterday, he was picking up the ball from centre-back and just starting moves and that kind of thing. He's got it all. And I think football makes football easy. And I can't wait to get out there on Sunday for my team. And when you say, tonight, Matthew Kelly, I am good stars in your eyes, I'm going to come out my changing room with my big fat belly and say, tonight, guys, I am Christian Eriksen, What a player. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Going with that as well, Jack, with the Christian Eriksen saga, do you think he'd sort of like getting a nice fine tune out of Scott? Because it seems like Scott is playing better and better every game as the game progresses. You know, the whole McFred thing's gone. This whole bravado, he can't do this, he can't do that. It's like almost a new man, isn't he? It's like he dumped his old girlfriend Fred, and he's got a new partner now, isn't he?
A new upgrade, yeah. Look, anyone who's been watching any of my stuff, I've been quite critical of McTominay over the last maybe 12 to 18 months. But I have to say, you know, we're critical when players play bad, of course. But credit where credit is due. He's been absolutely brilliant the last 4 Premier League games. But you know, I think Eriksen does maybe have an influence on him. I think you can see the partnership starting to develop as the games go on. But I think on top of that as well, especially with McTominay, I know we don't want to dwell on McTominay an awful lot, but I think Casemiro being right behind him is after giving him maybe the kick up the ass that he actually needs, you know. But you can see as the games go on and as they develop, like McTominay now has his own set role because Eriksen is there and he knows what he's doing as well, and Bruno ahead of them. You know, it's not a, you know, when McFred were playing together, sometimes it seemed that they were both trying to do the same role depending on where they were on the pitch. Where now McTominay is here, Eriksen is there, Bruno is there. This is my job, that's your job, and that's your job. So, you know, and I think that's all down to Ten Hag and the way he's playing and the way he wants his team to play. Yeah, and Eriksen has a vital role in that. He really does. To be honest with you, I think he's after shocking Ten Hag in relation to how good he's been as well. Because obviously we were big in for Frankie de Jong, and that was the marquee signing for the summer. I don't think Eriksen was probably being planned to be played this much by Ten Hag, and I think the reason he's played basically every game, every minute nearly, is a testament to how well he's been playing this season.
I'm getting a couple of messages at the moment, Jack. I think there's a massive echoing coming from you apparently.
I'm getting it off of you now.
No
I'm getting it out. I have my earphones in, so there's no feedback coming through.
Well, what I'll do is I'll get Omundi to read some comments out. I'm going to log out and log back in. Apologies, guys. I don't know where the echo is coming from. But Omundi, would you mind going through some of the comments, please?
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys. We all know where the echo is coming from, don't we? But he's going to log out and come back in again. No problem with that. Yeah, let's see. So big up to TalkMU. Talk, love, family member, my brother in arms. We're part of the agenda team. Respect you. And yeah, you've done great commentary yesterday. And yeah, more to come from TalkMU. Gavin Ward's in the house as well. How you doing? Want to say hi to Matthew Bassett. Obviously, you got that donation of £5 towards us, so we could talk about this wonderful picture of you in your Sunday League side, looking cool and dapper. It looks like you just taking that picture from a stadium, you know. It's like that guy who lined up for Man United in Europe that time, didn't he? Jumped, got the shirt, and started out. That's how you're looking, Matthew Bassett. You look like a proper pro, but you are. And you can see Matthew Bassett at 10 o'clock tonight. Want to say hi to the infamous Viking Red. How are you, Viking Red? All the way from Scandinavia, I imagine. But big up, man. How you doing? What do you think about Eriksen so far? Let us know your thoughts. He's saying here, watch signing. Yeah, most definitely. Want to say hi to FC United Forever, one of our regulars. We love you. Talking about Echo Special Edition. Yeah, we got technical difficulties. I mean, but all teams go through this at some point, don't we? But when we come through, we come through this, working it in the training ground and get things better for you guys. Matthew saying Eriksen was seen as an alternative to Frankie de Jong by Ten Hag, which is a good shout. We needed that sort of player. Emma's saying, think we would have gotten Eriksen even if we got de Jong. I do agree with that statement there. Viking Red saying, I think with Eriksen, you see a better McTominay. So as we were just saying, Jack was just saying about the partnership there. Maybe Jack was suggesting that was Casemiro putting pressure on him as well. There's a number of factors there. But yeah, we are seeing a much better player in McTominay. And Eriksen is, probably key factor for that. Gavin would say it's just like football intelligence. His football intelligence is world class. We haven't seen a player like this for years. He knows everything that's good on the pitch. these comments are beautiful. Oh, we could just rave about the guy. He's so good. Viking Red said, lads, how many years we've been crying out for a footballer like this? Wow.
Since Scholesy,
Omundi, you're cheating on Maguire. Yeah, I am indeed, but I'm going to cheat on him and dump him as well, unfortunately. So KHG Gamers, he's got an Ajax Frankie de Jong with Ten Hag, I think it is, on his profile picture. He said, I saw Twitter that Ten Hag wants a centre midfielder in January for rotation for Eriksen. So Donny is back up for Bruno. Fred will probably be sold within 2023, to be honest. Solo, sorry about that. You'll probably be crying right now. FC United forever saying Papa Smurfy, wise words of wisdom. I love it. Yes, thank you. And if you're wondering who Papa Smurf is, no one's blue on here, but someone's got a beard and pretty old, and that'd be me. So Viking said, now lads, let's get it. Eriksen to tap up Ivan Toney. Obviously, he played at Brentford for a period of time. They brought him back almost, to life because no one wanted to touch him after what happened at the Euros, did they? He had heart failure. I thought that was the end, let alone playing football. But what a comeback! This is the biggest return we've seen ever. I think this is fantastic. Matthew Bassett saying we need a conductor since Carrick went. Yeah, I agree. I want to say hi to Matty, Football United TV. Says Scott, make sure you subscribe, by the way, to Football United TV. Scott's got better, but play Casemiro, he's levels above. That's a discussion, isn't it, to have, I think. Here we go. You talk about being late. This man was supposed to be on the show tonight, but after I'm informed, he says, all right, lads, what an episode of Lord of the Rings last night. And let's talk about our man, Eriksen. He says, Brand has to be Sauron, surely. I don't know what the hell he's talking about there. But anyway, there you go. That's most
he's
of the
talking
comments.
about something, innit, Bath time. Always up to some no good, I think. Absolutely always up to no good. Now, guys.
Sorry, one more thing. Viking Red is saying Papa Smurf in blue won the European Cup in '68. Do you remember that? It was in black and white. We don't really know that. But yeah, Man United were wearing blue that night when we went into extra time and beat the great Eusebio and Benfica. Wow. The good old days.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. We're having loads of technical difficulties.
Yeah, we are.
And
as
well.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Errol went to the dump today, and everyone's saying he was trying to take a number 2 and lack communication with half-time as well. But anyway, yeah, that's your comments. Keep them coming, guys.
Thanks, guys. Apologies about the bad feedback as well. I think I've solved the problem. I'm not sure, but let's see. I don't think I'm going to be. Let's have a read of this because there's a couple other topics we're going to be talking about. This is the whole thing with Eriksen, and this is why we want to bring the topic up as well.
So Jadon Sancho praises Eriksen's impact after the 2-0 win over FC Sharif, as we saw on Thursday night. Eriksen oozed class once again on Thursday night as the Dane provided the assist for Jadon Sancho's opening goal. The new signing was named man of the match for his performance against the Moldovan outfit. Eriksen dictated the tempo of the game and struck another positive partnership with our man Scott McTominay in the middle of the park. Speaking to MUCV, Sancho was full of praise for Eriksen. He said, Christian has many qualities. I think all of us know that. You can see that when he plays week in, week out, he's very comfortable on the ball and he's got the composure to put in the final pass. We are delighted to have him here. Lovely.
Yeah, brilliant. And Jack, you know what it is? I think we need to get you in down here somewhere because can't wait for Sunday to see Omundi putting those, lacing those full kicked up, going on the football pitch on a Sunday morning and basically red stick on the world thinking it's Christian Eriksen.
Silky smooth, left to right, getting in the channels.
Do you know what though? I was talking to someone yesterday and I was saying to them when I was younger what I used to do, like, you know, certain players used to do certain things. You remember the goalkeeper? Was it the Colombian keeper, that Scorpio, when he saved the goal?
Higuita.
Yeah.
Scorpion kick.
Yeah. And I never forget it. After he done it, I couldn't wait for the next day to go down the park where I used to play to try and practice it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I was saying to one of my friends there, when it rained, he was saying, "Oh, it was raining last night." So when you went forward, I was going, "That's the best time to play there when it's raining because you do those diving headers. All those diving headers you used to try. You used to sit there and overhead kicks and everything, because it feels a bit softer when it's raining. The more it rained, the better it was. You got
everyone wanted to go in goal when it rained because you got to dive around and there was soft ground.
Yeah, Yeah, like for us as well. When I was younger, hockey goals, we used to go to where the hockey field is, and the goal used to, for you used to think, oh my god, they're massive, but it's almost like you're not realizing, like if I touch it outside, I'm literally, and some of the save I used to do, I used to think I was sort of like, Schmeichel in his prime.
Absolutely.
I'm one that would have sat there and been touching the top of the thing, going, "Come on, there. Nothing's going in today."
I'd be jumping for it.
You know what's really cool though? I mean, look, we're living in an era of video games and that kind of thing, and FIFA, whatever they call it, Pro Evolution Soccer, and a lot of kids in our day, football wasn't on TV all the time, so you'd find your heroes. You might see something from an FA Cup final, which would televise. They'll say, "Oh, that player's good" or whatever. But it's today, everyone's doing step overs. Everyone's doing stupid flash skills and showcasing, little tricks and things. But you can't put that on the football pitch. It doesn't work. This is why I always say, watch people like Eriksen, watch people like Valderrama, watch people like Paul Scholes, who make the game very simple. And I think kids should be doing that, and the English football would improve. I mean, we're really blessed in England. The game's changed so much. It used to be a lot of rough and tumble, long ball, bypassing, lots of hard tackles and physical stuff. But we've got some beautiful players out there right now. And for Man United, once again, we have a player who can sort of dictate the play and play the beautiful game perfectly. So it's a blessing for us. And I think if we learn from it and realize how effective it is by playing a simple game rather than doing all this step over stuff, the international game will improve as well, and we get so many great players coming through this country and Ireland and wherever,
It's them players that go under the radar, though. The likes of the Eriksens, and you're not going to have the megastore sell out of Eriksen jerseys. It's going to be Anthony's, it's going to be Ronaldo's, and like you said, Omundi, he's the conductor. Nobody watches the conductor when he's orchestrating. You're watching, the trumpet player, or you're watching the violinist or the pianist or whatever it is, and that's what Eriksen is. He just dictates the play. Everything is in front of him. He moves it the way he wants to move it, and it goes back to the Carricks, the Paul Scholes, the Pirlos, these kind of players that just kind of go under the radar, just go on the field, do their job and go home. No big deal,
And again, you just said something very nice there, Jack, about sort of like you look at players like your Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes was well rated, so you can't say he wasn't rated. But one player was so underrated, and I reckon right now, if I ask people, did you rate? Right, let's ask a question. Give us a 1 if you rated Carrick, and 2 if you didn't rate him, because I think Michael Carrick was probably one of the most underrated Man United players.
He was unbelievable. So he was
very underrated.
So underrated, and got a raw. Now, obviously, I'm not from England, but I thought from the outside looking in, I thought he got a raw deal internationally. Obviously he was around with the Gerrard Lampard era, and similar enough to what happened with England with Paul Scholes. He was probably played out of position too much, and maybe didn't want to play in certain positions stuff, and just thought, okay, well, what's the point in being here? But I have to agree with you. I thought he was absolutely. He was pivotal to so many of them title-winning teams that Man United had, and the European Cup-winning team in 2008 as well. Unreal.
Do you love it with Tottenham? What a problem Tottenham go through, people not winning trophies and stuff. We take their players away and they all win trophies.
You asked the question about Carrick, and Bath Time had to spoil the party, and he said Carrick's the most overrated United player of all time. He backs it up though. He says lazy, never respected the block, got carried for years. So there you go. It does cause a lot of conflict here. Talk about Carrick. I'm with you. I disagree with Bath Time. Viking Red saying that Carrick was underrated. Yes. And Gavin was saying he wasn't better than Paul Scholes. Unbiased. Scholes is a god in my eyes. But yeah, it just, what was Carrick's game? Like I said, goes unnoticed, doesn't it? A lot of the time, like Jack was saying brilliantly, he's just there. I think someone who's 2-footed can pass the ball with ease, and you get used to it. You see, just standard. If he gives the ball away, oh my God, what's going on here? And we compare that. We had a guy who could, this is what really disappoints me. We had a guy called Paul Pogba playing for us. I felt if he simplified his game, he could be playing like Eriksen. He could be playing like Carrick, like Scholes. He's got the ability, can pass and move, good 2-footed. and can conduct the football side. But he never did. People made excuses for him, saying he needed better players around him, that kind of thing. But I always felt that he simplified his game. Don't try to be this, attacking guy and flash haircuts, everything else. Scholes, plain and boring. Look at his face. Carrick, plain and boring. Look at his face. All these guys. They're Eriksen, plain and boring. You never see Eriksen coming out with scandals, anything like that. The guy just goes out there, does his job, and plays brilliantly, and that's why his teammates love him.
But you know what they do? Do you know what they do? They pass the ball forward, which I think is so underrated, because it's very easy to take the ball in midfield and go sideways or go backwards. And every time Carrick or Scholes got on the ball, it was a forward pass first, and if it wasn't on, then you turn and go sideways. And if that wasn't on, then you turn and go backwards. And Eriksen is just like that as well.
I was going to just say that as well, Jack, because if you watch Eriksen game, that's exactly how it's almost Eriksen mold his game around these guys.
Yeah, that ball Eriksen gave into Fernandes for Anthony's goal. He played it from the edge of his own 6-yard box, like zipped it on the ground all the way to Fernandes, and eventually it led to Anthony's goal. Just unbelievable. And they're the kind of balls that transition you from defense to attack in the blink of an eye.
And again, it's like one of those guys, Eriksen is. And again, what like you said there, Jack, he's got the intelligence and he's got the feet, both feet on him, where he can hit a diagonal ball. It's almost like hitting a 50-pence piece all the time as well. And this is the thing, like I would say with Carrick. Carrick had the ability to do that as well, but very underrated. Yeah. Scholes did it, and I rate Scholes massively. So don't think I don't rate Scholes, but Scholes get praise for it. Carrick did it, nothing about it.
Yeah, well, Scholes was the GOAT, and I think probably the reason why Carrick didn't get it as much is for a lot of the time Scholes was playing beside him, and it was only maybe the last 2 or 3 years that Carrick played on his own, and he played kind of in an era then that Scholes left along with Ferguson, where we had poor teams. So for a lot of the time, Carrick was never up there with Scholes, but he wasn't far off him.
Can I just quickly go to the comments here, because there's a bit of the discussion going on here. We are saying that halftime here, he's saying that this talk of Carrick being underrated is overrated. Yes, he was a good silky passer, but the way that people go on as if he was key to everything, he was just getting into. He was getting into no other European top side. He's saying. So there you go. You got Bartham and Brush against the world here, standing out. But just another thing from Eric Vincent saying Eriksen played. I get the job done and says I can have my money. Paul Pogba is a player that goes out and says, "Show me the money. Show me the money. I don't care about football." So just talking about contrast between the two players. And Bartham saying Omundi took longer to speak than Carrick did to get the ball back in position. Yeah, I'm really struggling today to get my words out. A lot of issues today, technically and verbally. From me.
It's all going wrong. Guys. Forgive us. We're going to go, obviously, we talk a bit about Man United. We're going to talk about the Chelsea new owner as well with this whole North versus South. I watched yesterday the horse racing, the ITV horse racing, and they had the same thing. They had like North versus South, and it was, it was interesting. One lady rode, I think it's 1,000 to 1. She rode 2 horses or 3 horses, and it all came in. So, guys, let's talk about this whole thing. And Jack, do you agree with what he's saying? Obviously, he's talking about from these matches to donate it to sort of like grassroots football. Whether or not we get rid of the charity shield and bring that in instead, and how it would work would be 2 teams. You can only have 2 players per team as well. So, okay, yeah. Sorry, go on.
I don't see. I can't see the like. If you have 2 players per team, okay, I can't see the top 6 going to Yeovil. Here's part of 200 million. I just can't see it happening. Or the Premier League going, well, we put on this spectacle and we put on this show and we paid for everything and we generated 200 or 300 million from it. Let's just give it away. I just don't think that's something that could happen. In relation to the actual game itself, it has the it has the, I suppose, the aura of being a brilliant spectacle, but I don't think it would be taken serious, one, by the fans, and two, by the players. You know, if it's a preseason game, you know, I don't see what benefit players will get out of it. I think it's a very Americanized thing. Yeah, I just think it's a lot of wash, really.
Omundi, would you like to see this get introduced? And I'm gonna same question for you, Omundi, about it coming in, but also I'm gonna then ask you the same thing about the relegation playoff as well, whether or not you think that would be an interesting one, because I think they do it in America, like basically they do like a relegation playoff, and say for instance now who's got Norwich. Imagine Norwich is getting promoted, and then they got to now play against. I don't know who we might get. Everton or Bournemouth. Imagine that.
But firstly, I agree with Jack in a couple of comments as well. Is the sort of American way. They don't do all this promotion relegation thing too well. It's all about playoffs, and you know, do you remember they used to take penalties by running from the halfway line, trying to take within 5 seconds, that kind of thing? Come on, man! Don't change our game. You know, we've already had the offside rule changed many times, and the pass back rule. You can't change it. It's perfect already. Football's been running the show for a long time. We get more views on the World Cup than they get on their NFL. And look at them. They think NFL incorporates the whole world. It's just America, guys. You know, like baseball, it's just America. They call baseball World Series. It's only American teams. I mean, come on now. The North and South thing, it used to work with international teams when they used to have like England, Scotland, England, Wales, England, Ireland, these sort of games. The crowd used to love that in the summertime, you know, when there were less tournaments, summer tournaments. But I don't think it's going to work north and south. Who cares, to be honest? It just doesn't seem, I don't see any logic in it. I mean, and how do you divide the north and south? What about the poor guys in Birmingham, like Matthew Bassett and Vincent and all them guys? What are they classed as north or south? Are they right in the middle? Are we saying north of the M25 with Watford? I don't know how are you going to start referring to this. Let's just put it this way, though: the Northwest teams have really been dominating for a long time. We talk about Manchester teams, the Scousers, Liverpool, and Everton in the 80s as well. Traditionally, they've been the powerhouses of English football. I think with London, there's so many derbies that it's very hard for them, because even playing Fulham, say Arsenal playing Fulham or they're up for it. A derby is a derby, and these London derbies, so many of them, I think it sort of hurts London-based teams to win titles, even though we have seen Chelsea and Arsenal over the years to win some, but it makes it more difficult. So it's a big no-no for me. Don't change. If you know it's not broken, you don't need to fix it. We have enough football on, enough quality football. They even make changes to make it more appealing on the eye. So defenders now have a raw deal, because attackers can be, you know, a little bit onside and they're letting it go through. They want to see more goals. I think Germany was the best league, I think, for the amount of goals scored per game, and the English Premiership was sort of dropping down. So they want to increase that to make it more exciting and that kind of thing. And I don't think don't force it. Don't force things. Just let things work naturally. We loved the Champions League. We used to love UEFA Cup. We used to love the Cup Winners' Cup. We knew what we were getting. They've changed it now. We used to have the Fairs Cup, you know. How many times have changed? Just have one format that works and stick with it. Stop trying to change things up. It's not going to work, and it's not going to make anyone happy. Imagine, like, you know, I support my team. That's it. I like my team, Manchester, whatever. But I live down south. So how does that work for me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With this north and south thing, you know, where do I fit in? I need to belong to something. But just leave it as it is. I'm not happy with this.
But with that as well, though, Monday and Jack, the point I've got as well, if you start changing the game and continue to change, because they keep changing this whole thing with like VAR. VAR now is apparently this season they weren't going to get involved unless there's a clear and obvious chance. So looking more in depth on what he's trying to get, I think it's going to be something around where next thing you're going to know, he's going to say we should do like little playoffs in America, like, you know, like a World Series. Give him a couple of years time, 2 or 3 years time, and it's going to be like a World Series of American teams versus the British team in this little tournament, and all of a sudden to generate more money. And the more money you generate, then obviously it's going to go to him. It's because it's his idea.
Yeah, well, like the one thing I would say, and the one thing that obviously I'm not from England, but like 9 of, I think now with the Bournemouth takeover by an American consortium, is now going to be 9 American owners of Premier League clubs, and I think it's at 14 for majority rules on anything that's been voted on. So we have to be very careful in relation to what way the league is going to go. I heard another scenario today that if the top 3 in the Premier League qualified automatically for the Champions League, and then 4, 5, 6, and 7 went into playoffs for the last spot, and you'd think to yourself, well, that does sound good, because you could be in 7th or 8th position and still have a chance of getting into the Champions League with a game to go. But then it also takes away from the competition between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So there's always a pros and cons to it. But the main issue with these games are, where are you going to fit them in? Like players already are so stretched in relation to, I mean, the World Cup is now expanding, the European Championship is going to be expanding, the Champions League is expanding. So there's games on games on games on games. And the only thing that I can see coming, if this keeps happening, is players will go on strike eventually, because you're saying you're just doing too much to us. I get massive feedback here, by the way.
Yeah, I can hear feedback here. It's coming back, and a few people saying there's echo. Have I still got echo now? Is it gone?
It's gone now.
Yeah, I played around with my mic. I don't know what's wrong with it. Again, with that Omundi, like what Jackie's saying, it's going to be huge. And where do we fit these games in? The World Cup's around the corner. The next time after the World Cup, I think Man United play. Is it New Year's Day we play? So there's a lot of game to fit in. But where are you going to fit these games in?
Well, I was reading the other day that they can't extend the season because of TV deals. Else. So we're saying, why just we've got a fixture congestion at the moment. Just play the games after June. Don't worry about it. But then they were told that no, that it would conflict with. They got a rule that they can't go over a certain date because of the TV deal they have that will affect other programming and that kind of thing. So you think all these games are going to be crammed in to a small period. I think when we go back, once we play Man City, I think we've got 13 games. From the 2nd to in about 6 weeks. I was trying to do the maths the other day, so that's almost like 2 games and a half a week, which is kind of intense, and that leads to injury. It's just over football. I think it's kind of be dangerous, because you talk about squad rotation and things like that, but what about the smaller squads like Bournemouth? We've all got the 5-man sub rule, and people were talking pre-season about it could affect the smaller squads because they don't have the quality on the bench to make all these changes, So I don't like the way it's going. Just leave things the way they are. But saying that, let's just go back a little bit. We know the teams in the 70s and 80s had like 14 or 16-man squads and would go a whole season. Like Aston Villa in '82, I think they played 70 odd games, almost won the league and won the Champions League. With a 14 or 15-man squad and 1 sub. It's crazy. But when they were doing it, there was no complaints. But now, with all the requirements for sports science and that kind of thing, they say you can run people into the ground, and maybe the game's apparently quicker and tougher as it is now. But I don't know about all this. But I just think, at the moment, I like the format as it is. A player playing like once or twice a week, you need 2 days, maybe rest. You need a day's rest after a game. Obviously, with the traveling and that kind of thing, but they travel in luxury, so it's not that bad. I think they're fit enough to do it, and they're paid well enough to do these kind of things as well. So I don't know. It's money, it's changes. Leave it alone. We love the sport, but it's overkill, isn't it? We don't want to have too much garbage coming on our TV screens, especially meaningless games, like you say, which, oh God, what's this about now? What's this game? Like, for example, the internationals, we're coming up with the Nations Cup. Is it the Nations Cup they're talking about now?
More money.
Nations League,
I mean, what's it called? Nations League.
Nations League.
Yeah, come on. And even some players like, really? You know, do we really want to be playing for this?
I'm from Ireland. This is our only chance of getting to a major competition.
But there you go. Get some Irish perspective on it. But yeah.
But again, I know you said it, Jack. There's 9 after this Bournemouth takeover. There's 9 American ownership. Could this be going down the road of basically this whole thing with transition? Because the more owners, it seems like the American owners are coming in, the more money is around in football at the moment, and it's a breakaway. They could form a breakaway league at some point as well.
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility. I suppose, like everyone, I hope it doesn't happen. But you know, I do think that this Super League and the idea of it will come back at some stage. There's too much money there for it not to come back, and we can see with the likes of the changes in the Champions League and some slight tweaks that they're trying to push this kind of this new way of playing, and this you know, it's the if you have so much esteem in the Champions League, you still get in. Basically, a form of the Super League. So I think we do have to be very careful. Again, 14 is the key number in terms of clubs deciding on decisions. So if we eventually got to 14 owners of you know, coming from America, then you would be saying, okay, something could happen here. But like, I agree with what Omundi said there. I love the format the way it is. You know, the reason why there's so much TV revenue coming in and why it's the best league in the world is because of the competition we have. So yeah, I hope it doesn't change. I really don't.
Right, we're going to go through some of the comments quickly, Amanda. Would you mind?
Yeah, no problem. There's loads of comments. I've just picked out a few. We're going all the way back. I want to say hi to Angela Newell. She's already subscribed. Thank you. And you can see by her profile picture what she's about. Manchester United. Welcome to the Man United agenda. Thanks for joining us. Vincent saying got Carrick's autograph, but unfortunately he was a coach and not a player. What's his record as coach for Man United? Is it 1-0?
Retired after beating Arsenal.
Chelsea, was it Chelsea? I know, drew with Chelsea, did he maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, and then beat Arsenal and then retired.
What a way to go out, you know. I want to say hi to Jay, Billy Josh. He says, how you doing, lads? We're great. Hope you're doing great, boy. HG Game is saying the North versus South is like FIFA Ultimate Team video game. You make your fancy teams, basically. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. So you make a team out of all the best teams from North. I see. Okay, I see what he's doing there.
You know what? Klopp said something the other day about a manager. I don't know what manager is talking about, but Klopp was well taken back when it came out regarding it. Like, to think, you know, only two players, and in his head he's probably thinking, well, there's probably about 9 players here could get in this team.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
If you're going to be doing a North versus South like that, like, no one is going to tune in to watch 2 Bournemouth players and 2 Fulham players and 2, you know, playing. We want to see the top players coming up. We want to see Salah playing with Haaland, you know, and whoever, you know. So that would be the main reason for it. But I just can't see it happening, really.
Then they do in basketball NBA. They do the East versus West, and all the best players come together. And it's, oh God, wow, look at this fancy. It's all fancy stuff, isn't it? Fancy football, trump cards. And that. Come on, put an end to it. It's like the Harlem Globe.
Halftime show next.
Yeah, exactly. Vincent saying the Charity Shield would have been better if it was made into a mini league where the top 2 teams of the Premier League get to play. The top 2 teams of the Championship, the winner is, and the winner and the playoffs as well. Viking is saying Ted Bowley's been watching too much Razzmatazz. Bath Time saying they could bring back Sean Dyche and Big Sam for running the gauntlet, because he said earlier he would prefer to see celebrity gladiators with the managers. Imagine Ten Hag flying around on that ring game. Oh dear. Paul Turney, how you doing? He said, any good nickname ideas for Bowley? Yet, guys, North versus South, no Chelsea player in the squad, such BS. What Brush again is saying Todd Bowling Ball needs to do one. Get the F out of here with this relegation playoff nonsense and all-star BS. Yeah, that's the all-star game. Emma saying we can't have our players play with rivals, celebrating with them and then figuring out our weaknesses. I already feel a bit iffy about international games, even though I like watching them. Yeah. It seems, just quickly, it seems everyone's gone off international football. I think it's this Nations League as well.
Don't care about international football. Yeah. Honestly, don't care.
It never used to be like that. Yeah. Gavin was saying, let's go over there.
For anything on Monday, that's why. Sorry, Jamaica don't qualify for anything. That's why.
We did once, did we? 98 World Cup, we qualified to the World Cup, which is outstanding. Bartime saying, I don't mind new ideas in football, but I much prefer it if they stop pricing families out of the games. Good point. Have Boxing Day as a £5 ticket a game for under 12s. Didn't Boxing Day used to be really cheap tickets back in the day? I recall. FC United Forever saying that dude is a NOB. Okay. Did you see the interview he did a few days ago in the States? It was LOL. I didn't see the interview. Maybe more information. Barcelona saying I'll take a dumb North versus South game if they did that. And Brush again is saying it's sickening how much money orientated the game has become. Already, this disparity down divisions is polarizing without the further crackpot ideas like this in the pursuit of revenue. Wow, really good point. So Bath time again is saying eventually they're going to push for 39 in Saudi Arabia or somewhere nonsensical. And just lastly, we want to say hi to Stumpy Candle Top. He says, good evening, gentlemen. And I'd love to know who that picture is in your profile picture. It's all about profile pictures, guys. And one with the coolest one is Eddie, Football Waffle. He's saying technical stuff is annoying sometimes with the echoes. Yeah, we know we've got technical difficulties, but you're still here and supporting us. We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Big up, big up. Sorry, guys, about the echoing tonight. I'm not sure what's happened there, but listen, we are going to round it up there. We have got at 10 o'clock the Friday night takeaway, so make sure you guys send it in the chat. Make sure you guys go check it out as well. If you haven't yet, give us a like, please do so. And also, guys, to support and help the channel grow, we are very close to 2.5k subscribers. Not only 2.5k subscribers, guys, but remember you can also become members as well. That would help the channel as well, to grow the channel as well. So yeah, would be appreciated, guys, for everything, all your support. But before we do and before we go, there's one gentleman here I always want to big up and thank him for every time I ask him to come on. Never let me down.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, you can find me on United Community Channel on all platforms. YouTube and TikTok are the main ones. Yeah, we have our all of our watch-alongs, and we do 3 United news shows a week. So yeah, United Community Channel everywhere.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I got to say a massive thanks to the team as well. I've disappeared the whole of this week. So on Monday, Talk, Mr. B, Paddy. Well, we haven't seen Paddy for a while, but yeah, we know you're still there. SHAH as well has been there. Who am I missing in? I'm not missing in. Not Talk. Talk's there. Talk's always here. Even right now, Talk's down there somewhere in the backstage with us. Got to say thanks to every single person liking, sharing, and subscribing as well, guys. And as I said, on Monday, any final word, but thank you so much, and thank every single person who is part of the Mani agenda, and also even Matthew Bassett as well. Appreciate everything as well, mate. On Monday, any final words for you?
I just want to say, look, big up to United Community Channel. Make sure you go and subscribe to them. Jack is a diamond. We love you, Jack, coming on. Always bringing some good insight into football. Also, yeah, once again, I just want to shout out to all the Man United agenda-ites out there. We really appreciate you guys, as Errol was saying. We put a lot of work into putting out shows every day. We bump heads a lot. We get things done, though. Errol's been away for a long time now, for a couple of weeks, and we've been sort of trying to manage the channel on our own. It's not easy. It's not easy, but we love it. The thing is, because we love it and we love interacting with you guys, and we love you guys interacting with us and getting involved with the channel as well. We've seen so many people in the comments that have got great involvement with the channel. We've got Eddie, you've got Bath Time, you've got Bill Baggio, You got FC United Forever. You got Matthew Bassett, who you'll see tonight at 10 p.m. It's all love, man. It's all love, and we love what we do. Yeah, Viking Red as well. Big up, man. I want to say hi to Farah. He says, big up to Man United. Look, we're international, all the way from Abu Dhabi. There's a joke about the Flintstones about going to Abu Dhabi. I can't remember it right now. It'll come to that. Big up, man. It shows we're international, and football is growing everywhere. And Man United, obviously, is one of the biggest clubs in the world, football. So everyone seems to follow us. We've got a connection with people. So big up to everyone who tunes in, who writes in, and supports the channel. We honestly, without you, we wouldn't be nothing. And I mean that. We're nothing without you. So we really appreciate you. And it's great to get to know you guys, on a level. So respect.
Yeah. And with that as well, on Monday, touching on that, guys, if you do become a member, you do get to go on to the Friday Night Takeaway at 10 o'clock as well. So you do get the chance and the opportunity to go on to it as well. So make sure if you want to become a member, become a member. I've also got to say as well, guys, if you yet, Rebel is on the panel as well. Just remember to check out the new channel of Full Time Sports Network. Rebel is on that now, doing the fantasy football as well, doing a great job over there as well with it. So it's going to be moved off to move on to the channel now. So listen, there's loads of us. What is it? Oh, apparently, Bath Time want to do Lord of the Rings thing with me. Bath Time, I don't know nothing about Lord of the Rings. All I can tell you is I don't mind watching the box set of Harry Potter. I'll do that part, but that's it. Lord of the Rings, no. Sorry. But from us tonight, Solo, Monday, and Jack, as always, and Rich Sports just turn up in the building as well. Appreciate guys watching, liking, sharing, subscribing.
Big up to Rich.
Again, guys, apologies for the echoing. We'll make sure this situation is sorted out before the next show. From us, good night.